We begin the day with the dulcet tones and the harmonic vibes, the melodious majesty of the Park End Gang. What a way to start the day. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this session of essentially worship, reading, listening to the word of the Lord. And it's an exciting morning this morning, whether you are a regular around here or just dropping in, whether you are a Christian or one of those people who for some strange reason are not. Because we are reading the book of Numbers. It's bittersweet. Sweet because it's amazing. Bitter because we're coming to the end of the books of Moses, which is the best part of the Bible. I hope you've had a good day yesterday. Hey, Owen, I am here from Jaunty. I'm glad you are here as we start the book of Numbers together. I hope you had a lovely day. Yesterday was Mrs. Owen's birthday. In this session, we will be thinking a lot about church. Christ himself gave Moses to equip his people for works of service so that the body of Christ may be built up. The body, church, from the Lord Jesus, the whole body, joined and held together by every supporting ligament, grows and builds itself up in love as each part does its work. And this book, Numbers, it's a lot about the great high priest, Jesus, and his bride, church. What is up, Matthew Buns? What is up, Diane? We're going to go deep into the workings of the church this morning, see how the ancient church was structured, how they would learn to be fully human and live the full life together, which is what we do in real church these days. Church is hard. Do you know why it's hard? Because your rough edges get shaped, knocked back into smoothness by the daily grind of church service. That is salvation. You've got to love the book of Numbers because it shows the importance of every church family unit. Not a numberless mass of nothingness. If you're a Christian this morning, being part of this body, you are known in the heavenly courts. So may we think and speak and feel in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, not just now, but all day today. Numbers 1. A year after Israel's departure from Egypt, the Lord spoke to Moses in the tabernacle in the wilderness of Sinai on the first day of the second month of that year. He said, from the whole community of Israel, record the names of all the warriors by their clans and families. List all the men 20 years old or older who are able to go to war. You and Aaron must register the troops, and you will be assisted by one family leader from each tribe. Now, Those who like maths, try and make a note of the numbers at the start of numbers and then at the end of numbers and see if they've grown or shriveled, or maybe which ones have grown and which ones have shrunk. These are the tribes and the names of the leaders who will assist you. Reuben, Eliezer, son of Shemiel, son of Zerah. Simeon. Oh wait, hold on now. This is really badly laid out because I've shrunk the screen. Simeon, Zerishai, nation, son of Judah, Amminadab, Issachar, Nethel, son of Zuar. Right, stay there. Oh no, I can't. I can't even get another Bible because you're now reading this one. Issachar, Nethel, son of Zuar, Zebulun, Eliab, son of Helon, Ephraim, son of Joseph, Elmas, son of Ahmad, Manasseh, Gamaliel, son of Joseph, Benjamin. We have alignment problems. Benjamin, Abidan, son of Gideoni, Ahaz, son of... Ladies and gentlemen, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to rescue this alignment disaster right here, right now. I'm going to get my other Bible. Then I'm still going to be able to turn the page at the right time. Numbers. Kindle didn't think of that. Right. Judah. Nahshon, son of Abinadab. Issachar. Nathanael, son of Zuar. Zebulun is a tribe. Eliab, son of Helon. Ephraim, son of Joseph. Elishama, son of Eluhad. Manasseh, son of Joseph. Gamaliel, son of Pedazur. Benjamin, Abidan, son of Gideoni. Dan, Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. Asher, Pagiel, son of Okran. Gad, Eliasaph, son of Deuel. Naphtali, Ahira, son of Enan. So there you go, the main tribes there of the ancient church, with the leaders of each one, causing mass confusion for Owen at 7 o'clock in the morning. These are the chosen leaders of the community, the leaders of their ancestral tribes, the heads of the clans of Israel. So Moses and Aaron called together these chosen leaders and they assembled the whole community of Israel on that very day. All the people were registered according to their ancestry by their clans and families. The men of Israel who were 20 years old or older were listed one by one, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. So Moses recorded their names in the wilderness of Sinai. This is the number of men 20 years old or older who were able to go to war, as their names were listed in the records of their clans and families. Okay, I can handle this alignment a bit better. Reuben, what is that, Rachel Freeman? Jacob's oldest son, 46,500. Simeon, 59,300. Gad, 45,650. Judah, 74,600. Issachar, 54,400. Zebulun, 57,400. Ephraim, 40,500. Manasseh, so that you got the tribe of Joseph split into two there in the ancient church. Okay, not really called the tribe of Joseph from now on. 32,200. Benjamin, 35,400. Dan, 62,700. Asher, 41,500. Naphtali, 53,400. Remember that list. Commit it to memory this day. These were the men registered by Moses and Aaron and the 12 leaders of Israel, all listed according to their ancestral descent. They were registered by families. All the men of Israel who were 20 years old or older and able to go to war, the total number was 603,550 men of that age. But this total did not include the Levites. For the Lord had said to Moses, do not include the tribe of Levi in the registration. Do not count them with the rest of the Israelites. Put the Levites in charge of the tabernacle of the covenant, along with all of its furnishings and equipment. Let me tell you something about modern numbers. It's just come to my mind now. So the church was basically one united church up till about 1054 in terms of its main creeds. On the apostles to about 1054, and they had creeds and councils to keep heretics out and things like that. But as a main body, they were one. Then came the Great Schism over the Filioque clause and some other things, and the West ran off over there and started speaking Latin and became the Catholic Church. The East, the Greek-speaking world, stayed strong, run by, 5 main patriarchal bishops spread around the place as opposed to one pope. And, that was part of the reason they split, actually, the dominance of the one and the strange rules that the Westerners were putting in. Fast forward then to, just to Henry, who wasn't having the best marriage life in the world and wasn't particularly allowed by the Pope to do anything that he wanted about it. So he did what everybody does who doesn't like their wives, and they formed their own church. Now you've got the Western Church split into two itself, the Church of England. Fast forward a couple of hundred years, you get some disgruntled Welsh people, because that's what we do. We're rarely satisfied. And we don't like conforming to the Church of England over lots of things. And so we break away and become nonconformist. Then, 200 years ago? We can't get on with each other even within nonconformity, so another fragment happens. You have independency, independent nonconformists, breaking away from the main denominations even within nonconformity. And now the independents don't even get on with each other. So then they break away and form their own little groups in community huts around the corners, usually within 100 meters of the existing church that they've just left. Then you get another group who think staying at home will do it, where me, myself and I. And right now we have 44,000 Protestant denominations around the world. And the idea of unity is gone down les toilettes. The unity that Jesus says will convince the world that he is real and has been sent by the Father. Les toilettes. Whereas the Eastern Church still remains relatively doing all right in terms of unity. Numbers. Where's the authority gone? It's like this democratic mob rule in church at the moment. Crazy. And so concludes Owen's misapplication of Numbers chapter 1. Reg Freeman, this brings back memories of spending 4 hours in the car with Owen while he explained church history. But this did not totally include the tribe of Levi, because, the Lord had said, do that. Put the Levites in charge of the tabernacle of the covenant, along with all its furnishings and equipment. They must carry the tabernacle and all its furnishings as you travel, and they must take care of it and camp around it. Whenever it is time for the tabernacle to move, the Levites will take it down, and when it is time to stop, they will set it up again. But any unauthorized person who goes too near the tabernacle must be put to death. Each tribe of Israel will camp in a designated area with its own family banner. But the Levites will camp around the tabernacle of the covenant to protect the community of Israel from the Lord's anger. The Levites are responsible to stand guard around the tabernacle. So the Israelites did everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Now, if you want something cool to do, John T, so tempted to join the Greek Orthodox Church, isn't it? I recommend a few books if you want. If you want a fun thing to do, go to last Thursday's Frameworks group on the Park End YouTube channel called The Many More Names of Jesus. And go to like about 36 minutes or something in, and I start an exercise based around Numbers 2. You need a pen and a paper, and I'll lead you through what to do. And then you basically should be doing a drawing. And if you don't want me to spoil it for you, because I'm about to at the end of Numbers 2, better put me on mute. But that's quite a fun exercise to do. Numbers chapter 2. Then the Lord gave these instructions to Moses and Aaron. When the Israelites set up camp, each tribe will be assigned its own area. The tribal divisions will camp beneath their family banners on all 4 sides of the tabernacle, but at some distance from it. So tabernacle church life is in the middle of how they're going to camp. And they camp in a certain way around it. The divisions of Judah, Issachar and Zebulun are to camp toward the sunrise on the east of the tabernacle, beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and the numbers of their registered troops. Tribe leader number, right. Judah, nation, son of Aminadab, 74,600. Issachar, Nathanael, son of Zuar, 54,400. Zebulun, Eliab, son of Helon, 57,400. So the total of all the troops on Judah's side of the camp is 186,400. These tribes are to lead the way whenever the Israelites travel to a new campsite. The tribe of Judah leading the way. I'll tell you what I'll do, John T. I'll list some books, but not too long ago I was asked by some Bible college students who were about to go to a country where the Orthodox Church is quite prominent to help them learn a bit about it. So I made for them a 20-minute YouTube video, a private video, going into perhaps some of the differences between what these Bible students in the West would believe and what the Eastern Orthodox Church would believe. So maybe there'll be, and where they misunderstand each other. So maybe there'll be something helpful for you in that video. I'll send you a link to it. That's a private video. The divisions of Reuben, Simeon and Gad are to camp on the south side of the tabernacle beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and the numbers of their registered troops. Judah, nation of Aminadab, 74,600. Oops. I went to the top of the same page. Reuben, Eliezer, son of Shedeur, 46,500. Simeon, Shemuel, son of Zurishaddai, 59,300. Gad, Eliasaph, son of Deuel, 45,650. So the total of the troops on Reuben's side of the camp is 51,450. These tribes will be second in line whenever the Israelites travel. Then the tabernacle carried by the Levites will set out from the middle of the camp. All the tribes are to travel in the same order that they camp, each in position under the appropriate family banner. The divisions of Ephraim, Manasseh and Benjamin are to camp on the west side of the tabernacle beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders and the numbers of their registered troops. Ephraim, Elishama, son of Ammihud, 40,500. Manasseh, Gamaliel, son of Pedazur, 32,200. Benjamin, Abidan, son of Gideoni, 35,400. So the total of all the troops of Ephraim's side of the camp is 108,100. Note those numbers. These are the tribes that will be third in line whenever the Israelites travel. The divisions of Dan, Asher and Naphtali are to camp on the north side of the tabernacle beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and the numbers of their registered troops. Dan, Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai, 62,700. Asher, Pagiel, son of Okran, 41,500. Naphtali, Haran, son of Enan, 43,400. So the total of all the troops of Dan's side of the east camp is 157,600. These tribes will be the last marching under their banners whenever the Israelites travel. In summary, the troops of Israel listed by their families totaled 603,550. But as the Lord had commanded, the Levites were not included in the registration, so the people of Israel did everything as the Lord had commanded Moses. Each clan and family set up camp and marched their banners exactly as the Lord had instructed them. Now, so they camped with the church and the high priest right in the middle. And when they stopped, they camped according to the positions they were just told and according to their numbers. Now, let me show you. If you had drawn a picture, putting the tribes in the right place and making them larger or smaller based on how many they were, you should have this picture. Now let me just find one. Go grab a drink or something. Right, if I do this, if I add an image live right now, this could be crazy, but I'm going to try it. Probably should have thought about this before. You should get this. What does that remind you of? Not only, if you're an enemy coming over the hills to attack the church, not only are you confronted with the ancient sign of the cross, you would also, if you hung around, get to see each morning that the sun would rise out of the tribe of Judah. The lion of the tribe of Judah, rising like the sun, brightening up our day, Jesus, the light of the world. Jesus, the master of church. Jesus, the crucified lamb on a cross. And we preach none but Christ crucified. That is the message of hope. That has been right at the heart of church and shall ever be. Worthy is the Lamb. Numbers, chapter 3. Well, that would be a bit awkward if I didn't manage to actually show that image. And I've got no idea if you did see that image, because I've never brought an image up live like that before. That's your cue to let me know if you did actually manage to see it. This is the family line of Aaron and Moses as it was recorded when the Lord spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai. The names of Aaron's sons were Nadab, the oldest, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. Hey, there's a wow, someone saw it. These sons of Aaron were anointed and ordained to minister as priests. But Nadab and Abihu died in the Lord's presence in the wilderness of Sinai when they burned before the Lord for the wrong kind of fire, different than he had commanded. Since they had no sons, this left only Eleazar and Ithamar to serve as priests with their father Aaron. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Call forward the tribe of Levi and present them to Aaron the priest to serve as his assistants. They will serve Aaron and the whole community, performing their sacred duties in and around the tabernacle. They will also maintain all the furnishings of the sacred tent, serving in the tabernacle on behalf of all the Israelites. Assign the Levites to Aaron and his sons. They have been given from among all the people of Israel to serve as their assistants. Appoint Aaron and his sons to carry out the duties of the priesthood. But any unauthorized person who goes too near the sanctuary must be put to death." And the Lord said to Moses, "Look, I have chosen the Levites from among the Israelites to serve as substitutes for all the firstborn sons of the people of Israel. The Levites belong to me, for all the firstborn males are mine." I just had a thought. We need to put that in the children's Bible. Don't we? In On the day I struck down all the firstborn sons of the Egyptians, I set apart for myself all the firstborn in Israel, both of people and of animals. They are mine. I am the Lord. The Lord spoke again to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai. He said, "Record the names of the members of the tribe of Levi by their families and clans. List every male who is 1 month old or older." So Moses listed them just as the Lord had commanded. Levi had 3 sons whose names were Gershon, Kohath, Merari. The clans descended from Gershon were named after his 2 descendants, Libni and Shimei. The clans descended from Kohath were named after 4 of his descendants, Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uziel. The clans descended from Merari were named after 2 of his descendants, Mali and Mushi. These were the Levite clans, listed according to their family groups. They are Merari, Kohath, Gershon. Big names for the ancient church. The descendants of Gershon were composed of the clans descended from Libni and Shimei. There were 7,500 males 1 month old or older among these Gershonite clans. They were assigned the area to the west of the tabernacle of their camp. By the way, women. You may notice that so far women have not been named, nor children. Why? Is it because in the Bible it's made clear that women and children are not as valued as men? No. And women get a lot of the spotlight coming up, and have had already, for better or worse. Not as worse as the men, definitely for better. So what's going on here? Why aren't the women being counted? I think the answer is representation is a massive part of the Bible. 2 males represent the story of the whole world. 2 inheritors, 2 people who shoulder everyone else. Just 2. Adam and Jesus. You're either in Adam or in Jesus. So you've got those federal representatives for the whole human race. And then within the church family itself, you had many pictures of those as representatives who inherit things, who protect the rest, who die for the rest, who get counted as a symbol of their wider family. And it's this whole representation thing. Big theme in the Bible. Who represents you? Adam or Christ? There were 7,500 males 1 month old or older among the Gershonite clans. They were assigned the area to the west of the tabernacle for their camp. The leader of the Gershonite clans was Eliasaph, son of Leiel. These two clans are responsible to care for the tabernacle, including the sacred tent with its layers of coverings, the curtain at its entrance, the curtains of the courtyard that surrounded the tabernacle and the altar, the curtain at the courtyard entrance, the ropes, and all the equipment related to their use. The descendants of Kohath were composed of the clans descended from Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. There were 8,600 males 1 month old or older among these Kohathite clans. They were responsible for the care of the sanctuary, and they were assigned the area south of the tabernacle for their camp. The leader of the Kohathite clans was Elizavan, son of Uzziel. These 4 clans were responsible for the care of the ark, table, the lampstand, the altars. Wait, where's our altar of incense, Diane? I'll be in touch. The various articles used in the sanctuary and the inner curtain, and all the equipment related to their use. Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, was the chief administrator over all the Levites, with special responsibility for the oversight of the sanctuary. Big job for Eleazar. The descendants of Merari were composed of the clans descended from Mali and Mushi. Mali and me? There were 6,200 males 1 month old or older among these Merarite clans. They were Abiel, son of Abihail. These 2 clans were responsible for the care of the frames supporting the tabernacle. My internet might have just dropped out. Apologies if it did. I think I'm back. The crossbars, the pillars, the bases, and all the equipment related to their use. They were also responsible for the posts of the courtyard and all their bases, pegs, and ropes. Ladies and gentlemen, what's your job in church? As they open up the books on that last day, what did you do for Jesus? What did I do for Jesus? They were also responsible... Oh, we've just done that. The area of the front of the tabernacle in the east towards the sunrise was reserved for the tents of Moses and Aaron and his sons, who had the final responsibility for the sanctuary on behalf of the people of Israel. Anyone other than the priest or a Levite who went too near the sanctuary was to be put to death. Obviously, you can't just swan into heaven. When Moses and Aaron counted the Levite clans at the Lord's command, the total number was 22,000 males 1 month old or older. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Now count all the firstborn sons in Israel who are 1 month old or older, and make a list of their names. The Levites must be reserved for me as a substitute for the firstborn sons of Israel. I am the Lord. And the Levites' livestock must be reserved for me as substitutes for the firstborn livestock for the whole nation of Israel." So Moses counted the firstborn sons of the people of Israel, just as the Lord had commanded. The number of the firstborn sons who were 1 month old or older was 22,273. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Take the Levites as substitutes for the firstborn sons of the people of Israel, and take the livestock of the Levites as substitutes for the firstborn livestock of the people of Israel. The Levites belong to me. I am the Lord." Hey, what is up, Joan? There are 273 more firstborn sons of Israel than there are Levites. To redeem these extra firstborn sons, collect 5 pieces of silver for each of them, each piece weighing the same as the sanctuary shekel, which equals 20 gerahs. Give the silver to Aaron and his sons as the redemption price for the extra firstborn sons. Any parents out there today? As here we're learning how the ancient church was structured, and that numbers matter to the Lord, and that no one's insignificant, wouldn't it be the greatest thing to be able to say this: my children belong to the Lord? And in church, We work together as parents to try and make that so as best as we can. Above whether they get an A in maths or a B in PE, or they become the head of the local McDonald's. More importantly than even that is that we can say those that we love belong to the Lord. If you have children that have drifted and are not seemingly interested in the Lord and not partaking of church life and the sacraments, pray for them, that the olive oil Holy Spirit life giver would turn the lights on again. Pray. And talk to them. Would you like to come to church? But pray. So Moses collected the silver for the redeeming sons of Israel, who exceeded the number of the Levites. He collected 1,365 pieces of silver on behalf of these firstborn sons of Israel, each piece weighing the same as a sanctuary shekel. And Moses gave the silver for the redemption to Aaron and his sons, just as the Lord had commanded. Numbers chapter 4. We are ploughing through this book. What a privilege it is to be a Levite, as we're about to learn in this chapter. But not all of their roles were glamorous and overly spiritual. There's a lot of heavy lifting in church life, mundane work. Are you a mundane worker in church life? You do the fiddly bits. That is the glory work, to allow the others to come and worship because you've done some hard graft fiddly bits. Brilliant. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, record the names of the members of the clans of the families of the Kohathite division of the tribe of Levi. List all the men between the ages of 30 and 50 who are eligible to serve in the tabernacle. The duties of the Kohathites at the tabernacle will relate to the most sacred objects. When the camp moves, Aaron and his sons must enter the tabernacle first to take down the inner curtain and cover the Ark of the Covenant with it. Then they must cover the inner curtain with the fine goatskin leather and spread over that a single piece of blue cloth. Finally, they must put the carrying poles in the Ark in place of the Ark. Next, they must spread the blue cloth over the table where the bread of the presence is displayed, or the toast of the presence in Park End Church. And on a cloth they must place the bowls, ladles, jars, pitchers, and special bread. They must spread a scarlet cloth over all of this, and finally a covering of fine goatskin leather on top of the scarlet cloth. Then they must insert the carrying poles into the table. Next, they must cover the lampstand with a blue cloth, along with its lamps, snuffers, trays, and special jars of olive oil. Then they must cover the lampstand with its accessories with fine goatskin leather and place the bundle on a carrying frame. Next, they must spread a blue cloth over the gold incense altar. This is like what Diane does in her house before she comes to church and gets the children to do this type of thing. There's like 20 chapters of Diane's life just given to fiddling around with blue cloth and golden cardboard. But there we go. What it has enabled is me to be teaching the boys all week about these objects. Take all the remaining furniture into the sanctuary and wrap them in blue cloth, cover them with fine goatskin leather and place them on the carrying frame. They must remove the ashes from the altar for sacrifices and cover the altar with a purple cloth. All the altar utensils, the fire pans, meat forks, shovels, basins and all containers must be placed on the cloth, and a covering of fine goatskin leather must be spread over them. Finally, they must put the carrying poles in place. The camp will be ready to move when Aaron and his sons have finished covering the sanctuary and all the sacred articles. The Kohathites will come and carry these things to the next destination. But they must not touch the sacred object, or they will die. So these are the things from this tabernacle and that the Kohathites must carry. Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, will be responsible for the oil of the lampstand, the fragrant incense, the daily grain offering, and the anointing oil. In fact, Eleazar will be responsible for the entire tabernacle and everything in it, including the sanctuary and its furnishings. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Do not let the Kohathite clans be destroyed from among the Levites. This is what you must do, so they will live and not die when they approach the most sacred objects. Aaron and his sons must always go in with them and assign a specific duty or load to each person. The Kohathites must never enter the sanctuary to look at the sacred objects for even a moment, or they will die. You cannot just go up to God on your own terms." Same today. And the Lord said to Moses, "Record the names of the members of the clans and families of the Gershonite divisions of the tribe of Levi. List the men between the ages of 30 and 50 who are eligible to serve in the tabernacle. These Gershonite clans will be responsible for general service and carrying loads. They must carry the curtains of the tabernacle itself with its coverings, the outer covering of fine goatskin leather, and the curtain for the tabernacle entrance. I wonder who's in charge of cleaning the black bricks. Probably someone in the Gershonite clan. They are also to carry the curtains for the courtyard walls that surround the tabernacle and altar, the curtain across the courtyard entrance, the ropes, and all the equipment related to their use. The Gershonite clans are responsible for all these items. Aaron and his sons will direct the Gershonites regarding all their duties. Whether it involves moving the equipment or doing other work, they must assign the Gershonites responsibility for the loads that they are to carry. So these are the duties assigned to the Gershonite clans at the tabernacle. They will be directly responsible to Ithamar, son of Aaron. The leaders of my little project. Is this really church life? Yes. Yes, there it is. You're doing the work of a Gershonite. It's for a wonderful greater cause. And even in that stuff, you're being refined. Keep doing it, man. Keep doing the Pritt stick stuff. And the glitter. Duties of the Marmite clan. Now record the names of the members of the clans of the families of the Merarite division of the tribe of Levi. List all the men between the ages of 30 and 50 who are eligible to serve in the tabernacle. Their only duty at the tabernacle will be to carry loads. They will carry the frames of the tabernacle, the crossbars, the posts, the bases, all the posts for the courtyard walls with their pages, pegs and ropes, and all the accessories and everything else related to their use. Assign the various loads to each man by name. So these are the duties of the Merarite clans at the tabernacle. They are directly responsible to Ithamar, son of Aaron, the priest. So Moses, Aaron, and the other leaders of the community listed the members of the Kohathite division by their clans and families. The list included all the men between 30 and 50 years of age who were eligible for service in the tabernacle, and the total number came to 2,750. So this was the total of all those from the Kohathite clans who were eligible to serve at the tabernacle. Moses and Aaron listed them, just as the Lord had commanded through Moses. The Gershonite division was also listed by its clans and families. The list included all the men between 30 and 50 years of age who were eligible for service at the tabernacle. The total number came to 2,630. So this was the total of all those from the Gershonite clans who were eligible to serve at the tabernacle. Moses and Aaron listed them just as the Lord had commanded. The Merarite division was also listed by its clans and families. The list included all the men between 30 and 50 years of age who were eligible for service at the tabernacle, and the total number came to 3,200. So this was the total of all those from the Merarite clans who were eligible for service. Moses and Aaron listed them, just as the Lord had commanded through Moses. So Moses, Aaron, and the leaders of Israel listed all the Levites by their clans and families. All the men between 30 and 50 years of age who were eligible for service in the tabernacle and for its transportation numbered 8,580, and their names were recorded just as the Lord had commanded through Moses. Each man was assigned his task and told what to do. And so the registration was completed just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Rachel Freeman, my mum has a miniature Ark of the Covenant ornament on her fireplace. You can take the lid off it and all the little bits are inside. We have all made fun of her, but I'm guessing you will tell us off for that now. Well, yes. Wow. That is amazing. And a daily reminder, a physical reminder that the Lord God sits on a throne. What an icon right there. And the bits inside, like, well, this gang knows what's inside because we've been reading through it. I don't need to tell you that. But all of them? All three? Beautiful. I'd like to see a picture of that, please. Numbers chapter 5. If you're just dropping in, we have seen the setup of the camp, the work at the center of the camp, the instructions to how to move the camp. Now for the next 2 chapters, we're going to see examples of what might drive people away from the camp, and also what people can do in order to draw closer to the center of the camp. We got like 3 case studies coming up. The Lord gave these instructions to Moses. Command the people of Israel to... Hold on, am I on the right screen? Yep. To remove from the camp anyone who has a skin disease or a discharge or has become ceremonially unclean by touching a dead person. This command applies to men and women alike. Remove them so they will not defile the camp in which I live among them. So the Israelites did as the Lord had commanded Moses and removed such people from the camp. Sorry for the repetition, folks, but we have people dropping by here for one-offs. And because that tabernacle was a symbol where God lives, well, he did literally live there. You can't have diseases around God. He's too pure. He has to fix that stuff. So get rid of it, fix it with the priest, and then come back. Nobody can enter the new heavens and the new earth with sin or bits of disease or any sign of mortality. It's got to go. The priest will fix it. That's what this is a picture of. Then the Lord said to Moses, give the following instructions to the people of Israel. If any of the people, men or women, betray the Lord by doing wrong to another person, they are guilty. They must confess their sin and make full restitution for what they have done, adding an additional 20% and returning it to the person who was wronged. But if the person who was wronged is dead, and there are no near relatives to whom the restitution can be made, the payment belongs to the Lord and must be given to the priest. Those who are guilty must also bring a ram as a sacrifice, and they will be purified and made right with the Lord. All the sacred offerings that the Israelites bring to a priest will belong to him. Each priest may keep all the sacred donations that he receives. Protecting marital faithfulness. Interesting. The Lord said to Moses, give the following instructions to the people of Israel. Suppose a man's wife goes astray and she is unfaithful to her husband and has relations with another man, but neither her husband nor anyone else knows about it. She has defiled herself, even though there was no witness and she was not caught in the act. If her husband becomes jealous and suspicious of his wife and needs to know whether or not she has defiled herself, the husband must bring his wife to the priest. He must also bring an offering of 2 quarts of barley flour to be presented on her behalf. Do not mix it with olive oil or frankincense, for it is a jealousy offering, an offering to prove whether or not she is guilty. The priest will then present her to stand trial before the Lord. He must take some holy water in a clay jar and pour into it dust he has taken from the tabernacle floor. When the priest has presented the woman before the Lord, he must unbind her hair and place in her hands the offering of proof, the jealousy offering, to determine whether her husband's suspicions are justified. The priest will stand before her holding the jar of bitter water that brings a curse to those who are guilty. The priest will then put the woman under oath and say to her, if no other man has had relations with you, and you have not gone astray and defiled yourself while under your husband's authority, may you be immune from the effects of this bitter water that brings on the curse. But if you have gone astray by being unfaithful to your husband and defiled yourself by having relations with another man, at this point the priest must put the woman under the oath by saying, may the people know that the Lord's curse is upon you when he makes you infertile, causing your womb to shrivel and your abdomen to swell. Now, may this water that brings the curse enter your body and cause your abdomen to swell and your womb to shrivel, and the woman will be required to say, yes, let it be so. And the priest will write these curses on a piece of leather and wash them off into the bitter water, and he will make the woman drink the bitter water that brings on the curse. When the water enters her body, it will cause bitter suffering as if she is guilty. The priest will then take the jealousy offering from the woman's hand, lift it up before the Lord, and carry it to the altar. He will take a handful of the flour as a token portion and burn it on the altar, and he will require the woman to drink the water. Oops, instead of removing that, I just added him as a moderator. That was a bad move. Okay, removed him, and now hidden. If she has defiled herself by being unfaithful to her husband, the water that brings on the curse will cause bitter suffering. Her abdomen will swell, and her womb will shrink, and her name will become a curse among the people. But if she has not defiled herself and is pure, then she will be unharmed and will still be able to have children. This is the ritual law for dealing with suspicion. If a woman goes astray and defiles herself while under her husband's authority, or if a man becomes jealous and is suspicious that his wife has been unfaithful, the husband must present his wife before the Lord, and the priest will apply the entire ritual law to her. The husband will be innocent of any guilt in this matter, but his wife will be held accountable for her sin. Here's a book by book. Effectively, the Lord told Moses to ensure that godly couples keep strong and healthy marriages. If husbands and wives were going to bear witness to the Lord and his church, they could not allow jealousy, resentment, and suspicion to fester. Some have argued that the procedures in these verses treat the woman unfairly. In the Bible, there is an expectation that husbands will lay down their lives for the sake of their wives. The same is not expected of wives. The situation referred to in these verses is a long way from the life of a righteous and loving marriage. What godly Christ-like husband would conduct himself in this way towards the wife he loved more than his own life? In this scenario, there had been significant breakdown and the matter needed resolving. The Lord would not have this sort of marriage with simmering jealousy, innuendo, harshness, bitterness, and ongoing snide comments being made against a wife. Those of us in relationships work to keep them Christ-centered and healthy and free of jealousy, the wrong type of jealousy, and ill will and suspicion. And it looks like we're going to be ending on chapter 6. Let's say a few words about the Nazirite vow, and we'll bash out a few of these verses. Then the Lord said to Moses, give the following instructions to the people of Israel. If any of the people, either men or women, take the special vow of a Nazirite, setting themselves apart to the Lord in a special way, they must give up wine and other alcoholic drinks. They must not use vinegar made from wine or from other alcoholic drinks. They must not drink fresh grape juice, and they must not eat grapes or raisins. Interesting there, person going into this, grapes, symbol of new life, like from blood, or judgment in Genesis 49, Deuteronomy 32, Revelation 14. But from the crushing can come life and joy, and wine gladdens the heart. Going through the pain to get joy. That's all this grape like symbol. So these people are going to become like single-minded for Jesus. Samson, Samuel, John the Baptist. Keep seeing this. Just making a note here for the Nazarite vow. They must not use vinegar made from wine or from other alcoholic drinks. They must not drink fresh grape juice, and they must not eat grapes or raisins. As long as they are bound by their Nazarite vow, they are not allowed to eat or drink anything that comes from a grapevine, not even the grape seeds or skins. They must never cut their hair throughout their time of their vow, for they are holy and set apart to the Lord. Until the time of their vow has been fulfilled, they must let their hair grow long. So maybe the great thing here, is it because when they come out of their vow they experience the new life? Or is it like they're single-mindedly dedicated so they're not experiencing any of that stuff during it? I guess that's two sides of the same coin. They must not go near a dead body during their entire period of vow to their Lord. Even if the dead person is their own father, mother, brother or sister, they must not defile themselves, for the hair on their head is a symbol of their separation to God. This requirement applies as long as they are set apart to the Lord. Dedication to God. If someone falls dead beside them, the hair that they have dedicated will be defiled. They must wait for 7 days and then shave their heads. Then they will be cleansed from their defilement. On the 8th day, they must bring 2 turtle doves and 2 young pigeons to the priest at the entrance of the tabernacle. The priest will offer one of the birds for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. In this way, he will purify them from the guilt they incurred through contact with the dead body. Then they must reaffirm their commitment and let their hair begin to grow again. The days of their vow that were completed before their defilement no longer count. They must rededicate themselves to the Lord as a Nazarite for the full term of their vow. And each must bring a 1-year-old male lamb for a guilt offering. This is the ritual law for the Nazarites. At the conclusion of their time of separation as Nazarites, they must each go to the entrance of the tabernacle and offer their sacrifices to the Lord. A 1-year-old male lamb without defect for a burnt offering, and a 1-year-old female lamb without defect for a sin offering, a ram without defect for a peace offering, a basket of bread made without yeast, cakes of choice flour mixed with olive oil, and wafers spread with olive oil, along with their prescribed grain offerings and liquid offerings. The priest will present these offerings before the Lord. First the sin offering and the burnt offering, then the ram for a peace offering, along with the basket of bread made without yeast. The priest must also present the prescribed grain offering and liquid offering to the Lord. Then the Nazarites will shave their heads at the entrance of the tabernacle. They will take the hair that had been dedicated and place it on the fire beneath the peace offering sacrifice. After the Nazarite's head had been shaved, the priest will take for each of them the boiled shoulder of the ram, and he will take from the basket a cake and wafer made without yeast. He will put them all into the Nazarite's hands. Then the priest will lift them up as a special offering before the Lord. These are holy portions for the priest, along with the bread of the special offering and the thigh of the sacred offering that are lifted up before the Lord. After this ceremony, the Nazarites may again drink wine. This is the ritual law of the Nazarites who vowed to bring these offerings to the Lord. They may also bring additional offerings if they can afford it, and they must be careful to do whatever they vowed when they set themselves apart as Nazarites. I do not know if there's anybody here who's currently taken a Nazarite vow, but I know this: if you bear the name of Christ to some degree, you have offered yourself as a living sacrifice for kingdom work today. So remember today that you are part of this worldwide church with the priest at the heart of it all, and we are the people of the cross, of forgiveness and life. So let us today reject evil, take our vows afresh, to obey the King. And God willing, we'll do it all again tomorrow. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.